Three, two, one. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really excited because we have John in the house today. And if you're a Liverpool fan, you should know who John Achterberg is. I call him affectionately Johnny. How are you doing, Johnny?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Singapore, it's we're kind of on top of the coronavirus situation. Even our numbers are like coming down. Has been like two digits. Number of cases in the past week. So that's all good. How about on your end? Are you in the UK right now?
Yeah, I'm in the UK. I came back from holiday last night, so yeah, I was okay because I was in Greece, but there's a few countries what is locked up again now. So if you come from Spain, then you need to go for 2 weeks in quarantine. Yeah, it's a little bit on and off with the virus at the moment in Europe again. So let's see what happens. But we plan to start Saturday again with training.
So this Saturday, the guys are back in training, and of course, it seems like only days ago where we saw Jordan Henderson lift the trophy, right? Our first Premier League title win in 30 years. So I got everybody around the world excited. You definitely got me really excited because I've been waiting for that day, for ages. So maybe we'll just dive right into talking about this incredible season because you played a really huge role in that in terms of not just ensuring the goalkeepers, the number one, the number two, the number three are in tip-top condition, but of course there were many challenges along the season, and coronavirus is just the tip of the iceberg, right? So maybe we'll start out by asking you about in the beginning, right, preseason. Did you think that you were going to win the English Premier League before it even started during preseason?
You never know how it works out. No, everyone wants to win it. A lot of teams invest in it. The good thing is we were really on a focused way. After in the then obviously winning the really focused.
I think we seem to have lost you there.
Straight back on it, and we took it game by game really, and didn't look too far ahead. We knew we had to be really good and focus on every game, because there's a lot of quality teams around with City, Chelsea, United, Arsenal, Tottenham, and then Leicester done really well. And there's no easy games really. So if you think you can go in a small game, or on paper small game, not 100% focused and committed, then you will struggle. So I think we were really consistent from the start, and that what helped us.
That's brilliant, and of course, it's always great to hear that even before the season started, right, there was a lot of confidence, and of course, you guys are back in training again this Saturday. So that means that going to the new season, there will be a lot of confidence as well, and he's probably at a sky high, level right now in terms of approaching the new season the same way as the one before. Let's maybe also ask you some of the questions that some of the community listeners have submitted. Many of our listeners are all over Asia as well, and they are also huge Liverpool fans, and they were all really excited when they hear that you're coming on to the show. And one of the questions that they submitted and they wanted to find out from you, what is your hot take on Klopp, in terms of the family atmosphere at Melwood facility, and also, creating this winning culture that is going to continue for many years to come, right? So can you tell us, more about what we already know about Klopp?
Yeah, of course. I mean, his biggest saying is really to the players when we have like a meeting, I want to be your friend, but I cannot be your best friend, because I have to tell you the truth. If it doesn't go well, I can only play 11 players and you're all good players. So, I try to do the best with you, everyone, and we have to do it as a team. As a team, as players, but also as a team, as staff. It's all together. We all have to try and help each other to get the best succeed in the future, and every next season again. So he is really on the pitch, he is like an aggressive way of teaching and fire the players on. but always with respect. If you don't work hard enough, he will tell you straight on, no problem, but always with respect. And if there is any issues in your game, he will give you in detail what needs to change, to improve you and improve the team. And that's also what happens in the team talks. If in halftime there is always a meeting, quick video analysis from the first half, good things or bad things, we discuss it quick, and then the boss tells the players what he needs from them to make the next step for the game. So on that side, it really works.
This is brilliant. And of course, we need to ask you about the goalkeepers, right? Because as head of a goalkeeping coach at Liverpool, are you specifically, proud of the team, especially the goalkeepers, for adapting to what you told them during the entire season? And what do you enjoy the most about winning the title?
It's your job now, so you try to prepare the goalies as good as you can for every training. Everyone is the same. Obviously, one is the number one with Ali, who is doing really well, but number two, number three, and number four get the same respect in training. We do the same things with them. We prepare them the same, because you can need to use number two or number three, so at one stage anything can happen, so you have to realize it's similar to what the boss do with the main squad of players. I do the same really with the goalies in that way, although it's in a smaller version, but you still have to do the same thing. You have to try to help them with the game, let them know what happens, and also try to keep them fit. And like the boss say, you can be the mate but not the best mate, because you want to have the best. And we work in that as the same way. We want to win every game, and you prepare the boss or the players the same, and the goalies in that case the same. You looking at opponents, try to analyze that, how opponents play, make the session on what we might need to face in the game. So then you have to make sessions to say a team does a lot of crossing, you make a session with where they need to do a lot of crosses, but also then have a quick counter attack, because when we win the ball we have to restart quick. So this kind of things, it all depends what opponents do. That's how we train, but next to that you have to also do speed, reactions, and fitness on that side. So it's a tactical, physical, whole way of looking at it. And then you have a goalkeeping meeting with the goalies, especially for them to show them set plays, corners, free kicks, everything, how the opponents play. Do they close you down or not close you down? So it's a variety of situations you're working on. And sometimes you have 4 days leading up, but sometimes you only have 2 days to the game, so you have then to pick the right things out, what is needed for that game, because we need to know what needs to happen in the game to prepare for that.
So definitely, there's so many things to adapt to, and you have coached them well. And of course, the best thing about the outcome, or the result of that, the hard work and all the entire process, right, is the winning part, right? So, what do you enjoy the most about winning the English Premier League title?
Yeah, I've been here about 11 years now, so we've been 2 times finishing second, so we were really close 2 times, and we probably should have won it 2 times, and that's how tight it is, no? And obviously the club has been waiting for this now the last 30 years to make it happen.
We seem to lost, a little bit of your Wi-Fi signal over the other side in the UK. Perhaps you can leave the chat room and then re-enter again, and maybe this will go back to normal. Can you do that, John? We just need you to leave the podcast studio and then re-enter again. Let's see whether that works, all right? So in the meantime, I'll just keep on talking, which is normally the case. Live streams, right? Anything can happen. Just like on a football pitch, anything could also happen. And I think one of the key moments during the season was actually the first match against Norwich. I think at Anfield, and it was probably 3-0 up when number one Alisson, right? I think he took a goal kick and I think he slipped. Was it his calf or his hamstring? I think it was the calf that he snapped, right? And he was out, for the next game and for many games that follow. I think Adrian, number two, really adapted by, taking over the role of number one goalkeeper during that period when Alisson was out. And of course, we were so glad to see him contribute to the success as well. Welcome back, Johnny.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it dropped, so I don't know where I left you, but I'm back here now.
It's pretty common in the UK. Whenever I do, live stream with guests from UK, there's a few drop-offs, which is normal. So it's perfectly okay. We'll let you continue to riff about what you enjoy the most about winning.
Yeah, I mean, it's not enjoying as much winning. If you work for Liverpool, you expect to win. So it's a kind of pressure you have to deal with every game, and you're looking from game to game really to try to win the next game and just focus on that one game. The only time is basically straight after the game where you can have a little bit of exciting and then you get a lot of adrenaline and you get a lot of buzz of it, but then also you could be playing in 3 days again. So you from that game you have a few hours where you enjoy it, and then you have to focus straight on the next one. And sometimes from one game you won, you're already thinking about, okay, what do we have to do tomorrow for the next game and things like that. And it's that is your job. I think if you're a supporter, you can probably enjoy it that 1 or 2 days more if you like. But that is how it is in the job.
I think you did it on the head 100%, especially for the fans, right? We have been waiting for this moment for so long. And somehow I feel that the longer it takes, right, the sweeter success tastes, when you have to wait so long for it. You mentioned about, we were so close on 2 occasions. And just now when you were locked off for a while, I was talking a little bit about Adrian, our number 2, someone that I really admire as well, because the team is only as good as the backups, right? And we have a question submitted on Facebook by one of our community listeners from Yoki. He asks, who made the final decision to sign Adrian when Ali was injured on the first game, right? Klopp or yourself actually, signed him or made that decision on Adrian. And of course, he's also a big fan of Adrian. So his career taught us that all the hard work will pay off eventually, right? So what's your take on that?
Yeah. It's a long process because every year you always prepare for number 1, number 2, number 3 young talented goalies. So you're looking through the year always about goalkeeping 1-year contract or free contract. Is it possible to get? And like in this occasion, Simon already said a few times he want to play again and be a number 1, so he wanted to leave. There was a chance if the club comes in, so you prepare. You're looking already, like if the season starts, you start already preparing for the next year about and the year after. What is going to be out of contract? What is possibility? Who can do the job maybe? And then you make a list together, and then you discuss it with the boss if something happens. And with the recruitment, Michael Edwards and all the scouts, they look from their point of view. They give some names in, and then I say to the boss what I think on everything, and that's how it is. And then in the end, the club needs to look if it's financial possible to do. And that's how it works. So it's a long process, we always have a list ready, and in the case with Adrian, we had a list with goalies, and then you're looking at who can do it, who has Premier League experience, all that things you have to consider. And Adrian obviously had a lot of the right things what we needed. He was on a free contract, so that saved the club a lot of money too. And when he came in, obviously he was pretty quick in the sticks because Ali got injured in the first game, really. And of course, everyone know he did really well when he came in. We didn't lose any games, and he set us off on the right way. And that's what happened with Adi. And then obviously Ali come back because obviously he was the number one and done really well too. So we can only be happy for what the boys did. And then you have Kelle and Lonergan who did their part too in working hard in training, being motivated, and try to make the next step and keep the boys fit. So I had a really good squad, and obviously that's what you work for next year again. We try to repeat, and hopefully we can repeat. That's what we're trying to do.
This is brilliant, insights, and of course, behind the decision to have Adrian. And he looks like, he has been with the club for ages. And I remember the moment that when he performed brilliantly, especially that save, when he took the ball off Pedro right during the Super Cup final in Istanbul, he basically warmed our hearts, and he got our backing 100% immediately with that save. And of course, the penalty shootout that followed as well, right? He performed admirably, and he looks like a keeper who was well prepped. And of course, we will see more of his contributions in the seasons to come. So obviously, it naturally also leads to the next question about those who have been around the club for a while. People like Loris Karius. I think a few fans, still have him in our thoughts. What about, the decision on Karius? Will he be joining the team for preseason training?
Yeah, of course, he's still our goalie, so he will start the season with us. I presume Laurie wants to find a new club to play, but that is something what his agent and the clubs have to organize, and clubs have to be interested. So he'll start with us this week and be back in training, and we take it from there. That's how football works. So he will be back for training, and we just have to see how it works. And if someone comes in for him or no one, that's hard to say and hard to judge at the moment. At this moment, we just have to try to make him fit and keep him fit, and make sure he's ready.
That's great to hear. So we're going to move on to the elephant in the room. Definitely, we're going to talk a little bit about COVID-19, right? Yes, actually disrupted, not just the operations in Liverpool Football Club, but in everybody's lives, right? So when coronavirus kicks in, were there a few sleepless nights thinking of like solutions to the problems, especially on maintaining momentum, right? And with a Zoom chat, done virtually like this, where we get to see each other, we can talk to one another, ask questions, ask how are you doing, Are these important for communication with the players and keeping them focused on, winning the title when it resumed, which is something that they did brilliantly after that?
Yeah, I mean, we had the groups up, and then the live sessions on Zoom, and the boys keep each other sharp in that way, and in the position we were. Your mentality really already brings you in this focus anyway. So it was a little bit tough at times because we didn't know how it would work out, but we all stayed positive and talked to each other, and sometimes we had some banter, and we working with Zoom sessions to stay fit individual. The fitness department made sessions with them. And we all joined in, and it was good to do it that way. It was the best possible way, and that's what we had to do, and we kept the focus going, and try to keep the momentum ready for when it be possible to start again. And lucky that everything was in one stage back on, and we were not really struggling in terms of we needed a long period to get back into fitness shape. I think in 2 weeks' time we were pretty much back to normal, and we could go again.
It's incredible because I remember the first game they played was Everton 0-0, but the next match they just crushed it, right, against, I think, Crystal Palace, if I'm not wrong. Lots of cracker goals, and of course the keepers all did really well as well. So was this period during the lockdown the most mentally demanding thing, during your time at the club? And did you get closer to your family at home during that time? And also have more opportunity to reflect like your achievements or what you have done or your contributions to the club in so many years already?
Yeah, if, of course, on the family side, it was good because you have more time to see the family because they always have to adapt to my schedule and my work. On the other side, you can still look at some video games, looking goalkeepers up, what I did at times, and doing things around the house what you have no time for. That's what you try to do. And on the other side, to keep fit, you keep running and try to do some, like the Zoom sessions we did, to make sure you stay fit. And then you always have to think about new things and what can we do, because you have to try to improve always. It's the same for a coach as for a player. You always have to look what happens around, looking at the game, what can be changed. Do we can make a session where natural the session comes out, what needed for the game, so that's what we always try. And I have an assistant with me now who can help me with that too. So yeah, that's what you have to be, always on the front foot, try to improve and keep the hunger. And that is for players and for coaches the same. If you lose your hunger, you cannot win. You always have to try to keep on the front foot and keep pushing and keep going.
This hungerness to win, it's something that we fans, think that we will continue to do well in the seasons to come. And, before we jump on to more questions about Klopp and to reflect on this incredible season, let's back it up a bit and go back to when you first started. How did your journey, started in the football industry? And maybe walk us through, which football teams were you supporting, when you were young, and who inspired you, to become a goalkeeper trainer, and who were the biggest influences in your life, in your career as well?
Oh, I try to go from the start. I started as an outfield player, and then of course we had no goalkeeper. My dad was a goalie when he was younger, so I go in goal, and that's how it went. Then I still played outfield as well. I always play every weekend 2 games. I was basically a little bit upset with goalkeeping then, and training probably when I was 12 or 5 times a week, and I training with the first team in my local amateur team, and I was 14 playing in the first team. So from that moment, when I was 16, I moved to my hometown, which you support, that is FC Utrecht in Holland. I was supporting them. And then I was there 6 years, so 3 years as the number 2 in the first team. Then I moved to NEC Breda, who were in the Premier League for 3 years too, to play some games in the Premier League, and was mainly number 2. Then I had 2 years at the league below because I wanted to play more as a number 1. And after that 2 years, I moved to England. But I was already starting the coaching when I was in Holland, because I always thought after playing football, I want to be a coach. So I was already with 24 doing my outfield license. I was doing the Academy of Eindhoven, where I was working as a goalie. I did every goalkeeper up to the reserve team then, and I did some local team where I did all the youth goalkeepers till the first team. So I was already doing that from 24. So when I go to Tranmere, where I played in the championship, we had beat a lot of teams in the cup, like Everton, Leeds, Fulham. I don't know how many teams we beat. Southampton we beat. So we beat a lot of teams. So we had a good team, and a good level. I was there 11 years. That is obviously on the other side of the Mersey, close to Liverpool. So I was in the area always. And then I from when I was about 30, I did coaching, local courses, try to improve kids, girls, boys. and then I end up doing all the Tranmere goalies. And in the end, in my later stage of my career, I was the last 5 years I was player coach and did all the goalkeepers scout.
I think we lost you a little bit
got a
again.
chance
Yeah.
when I
Please
was
continue.
38 to start in Liverpool. Benitez was the manager, and the goalie coach Xavi Valero offered me the job to.
Okay, so Johnny, we need to have you, leave the room for a while and come back and join us so that we can ask you more questions. Can you maybe re-click the link and re-enter the studio because we have tons of other questions to ask you. This is probably the episode which is the most anticipated because I think we have more than 3 dozen questions that fell in my inbox, and so many people DM me when they find out that you're coming on. So it's great to have you back again, Johnny. So sorry about the internet connection issue. So, well, it's something that hopefully everyone will get the fastest broadband speed, right? And we can all do this even more smoothly in the future. Of course, I think this pandemic has also shown up that how important Wi-Fi signals are, right? Because we're going to have communication that is unbroken and it's not going to maybe disrupt the momentum. Sometimes you need really great Wi-Fi. Sometimes, some people say Wi-Fi is even more important than food nowadays. So we'll just try to get you back on again. Meanwhile, I'll just keep on talking. There are, like I said, there were many questions that were submitted. And welcome back, Johnny.
Can you hear me all right again?
Yes, loud and clear, and we can see you crystal clear as well. So because we have a time limit, we're going to move on very quickly with the next question, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, during this period, I'm going to ask you again about Klopp, right? Because just like you told us about, during the pandemic, you have more time to reflect on your career as well. And we heard from how you started your journey. It was definitely a journey that has a lot of ups and downs. It's not like just that. Just like Klopp, right? He faced a lot of trial and tribulations during his career. So maybe can you maybe tell us more about Klopp in terms of, what can you tell us more about Klopp, the leader that unites the club, the people, the fans, the team, the coaching staff, including you, and of course his unbelievable man management style and his communication skills, right? You should learn a lot about yourself by working, under him.
Yeah, of course. You see the way he works. To be honest, I was a little bit the same when I was playing. I always speak to supporters and the people if they come up to you, and the boss is like that. He speaks to the people on the ground staff in the kitchen, the analyze people, the fitness staff, everyone in the club. So everyone feels part of it, and I think that's how it should be, because in the end, all the supporters, all the people who are working for Liverpool or want Liverpool to win, we all in it together to make it happen. If it's the people, the supporters in the stadium to fire the players on, if it's the fitness coach who try to make the session, if it's the goalkeeping coaches doing the job for the goalies, the medics to keep the players fit, the kitman to try to get all the boots right and all the gear for the players. So we all on a big team, and even the cleaners who need to clean the building, anyone who has part and helps to achieve what we want. And obviously the boss is the main factor in it, because he has this kind of skills, but also you have to be a good coach and a good tactician, and then he has the coaches with him to try to help him and give their opinion, but he always have to make the decisions, and everyone respect that as well. And he is the leader, and he had make the club succeed again, and that's the truth. And then you have the scouting department, of course, who try to help to find the right players, and so on. And then the owners, they have to support the manager to try to help him to get what he needs to do so. So it's a big thing, and a big group together to try to achieve this. But yeah, you can say it a lot, and I always say the boss changed the people in the stadium. The boss made them stay till the last second in the stadium. They standing behind from the first minute till the last minute now, and we all have the hunger to want to win, and that's what we all about, and that's what the manager did to the good. Can you hear me? Or we're
Yeah,
back off?
I think we're back
Yes.
on again.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for answering that this previous question. The next question that I'm going to move on really quickly, right, is submitted by one of our community, listeners, and he wants to know about the goalkeeper training routine, right? And also, if you are
Yeah.
looking to keep Kelleher as a clear number 3, or are you going to promote and bring someone else to compete with him?
Yeah. The training, like I said to you before, it's all based on what we need for the next game. How to prepare. I answered that really. We need to keep him fit on fitness level. So we try to find a balance for every goalkeeper to do the right amount, to stay fit and to stay on top. Keller obviously was the number 3, Lonis was the number 4, but we had also Camille Grabara, who has been out on loan, who had before the competition together with Keller. Yeah, so Keller could go out on loan, he could stay. We're waiting to see what happens. If he goes out on loan, then he needs to make the next step again to try to improve his game and making more game time, because in the end that will help the goalkeeper to make the next step, and then we will see what happens in the club, if we get someone else in or not, or bring one of the young goalkeepers up. We have not decided that. We're still discussing all options, and we have to wait and see on that. So, but yeah, we work with the number 2. If we only work with the number 2, we're working especially for him, some kind of game preparation, some kind of things what we can improve on him, and that's what we work. If it's number 3, we work on number 3, what he wants to improve, what he thinks he needs to improve, and what we think he needs to improve. So that's how you work, and that's how you then make the sessions. They all get health to the best we can help them, and that can help by the fitness department in the gym if they need to do core stability or some kind of balance and strength. So it's a big thing. And then we have the nutrition, in the kitchen with Mona, who provide the right food and the right supplements to do that. So it's a big picture, really.
And Mona is definitely plays a pivotal role in a club, just like yeah, pivotal, coaching staff. And when I was watching the coaching documentary on FCTV Go, what struck me was how united and how the entire atmosphere is like a family. And this is really important to coach a winning team, right? So we're gonna maybe also talk about the negative side. I think for goalkeepers, especially when it comes to injuries. So this season, Allison really struggled with injuries, right? So the one that really stayed on my mind was during the Norwich game where 3-0 up, he got injured. And he was out for a considerable amount of time. And even for the Atletico Madrid game in the Champions League, I think he was also out injured and couldn't play a part in the competition. So what do you think is the reason for his injuries this season? And there is definitely no guarantee, right? A player or goalkeeper will be injury-free the whole season. What are some of the sports science or some of the things or preparation that you guys need to do or instruct these goalkeepers to do on a daily basis to ensure that they remain injury free?
Yeah, that's true. It's correct. You want to use like a Rolls Royce, so we try to treat him like a Rolls Royce, but it's not always easy, because sometimes they have only 2 weeks a year free, no, because they in the summer break always with the national team, and they have to carry on playing. So you have to always talk. You feeling good, how you feeling, and you can see it still happens. Because yeah, we always have to listen to the players and the goalies. They always have to tell me. I ask them before training, I ask them after training, but they also know that if there is a small issue, they have to tell me. So that's how you try to overcome things, but there's no guarantee. No, a small thing can just happen, and of course, if there is a small injury, then the club cannot take the risk to make it bigger. So sometimes you get taken out then, and number two plays, and that's how it works. The Norwich situation was like from a goal kick. We didn't do anything different training wise. We asked if he was feeling good, so it just can happen as well, and that's what it is. And you try to ask him, do you think we did too much? Do we do anything? Should we do anything different or whatever? You talk with the fitness guys about it, but sometimes you just cannot overcome it, and that's how it is. It is football, and hopefully that knock it off. It won't happen now again, but there's no guarantee with any player on that.
Yes, fingers crossed on that. We're gonna ask you next in terms of these outfield players, right? So the non-goalkeepers, do they? Which member in the team do you think can also play the goalkeeper role? Any outfield player who has impressed? Sometimes there are some need that arise, right, during a match, either a red card or there's no other fit the goalkeepers. Touch wood, make sure that doesn't happen. But if need a rise, which outfield player do you think can play in goal really well? Does Firmino fit the bill really well? Because I think we have seen pictures of him going in goal during training before.
Yeah, Roberto sometimes go in goal for fun, but to be honest, I don't fancy any of them to go in goal, if I'm honest. But yeah, it's a special game. It's difficult situation. You have to make right decisions. For the goalkeeper, it's very hard. I wouldn't think any of them I would fancy playing in goal. That's why we have Adrian and Keller or even Lonergan there to do it. Although Loner's left now, but yeah, that's how it works. Hopefully we never get in that situation, and I don't want to get in that situation. That's why hopefully we can keep them all fit.
It's great that you mentioned Lonergan, and we think that he left the club as a legend as well. So, do you hang out a lot with the Dutch players, people like Gini Wijnaldum and Virgil van Dijk? Do you get really close to them because they are from your home country of Holland?
You talk sometimes when you see them before training or after training, a little bit in Dutch, but when they go home, you leave them really in general on their own, because they have a lot of people who want a lot of their time. So you want to give them the rest and peace with their families. So, but yeah, if then in the club we talk sometimes Dutch, and to be honest, it was Virgil and Ginny saying that why we talking English if we can talk Dutch here. But yeah, I do it more out of respect for if someone walks past, that you speak the language what is from the team really. But yeah, sometimes I do it with Pep as well now. If we are one-on-one, we talk Dutch, but sometimes we even talk English, although we are Dutch. So, but yeah, we talk more Dutch in the club.
This is fantastic. So before we let you go, we're nearly at the 40th minute mark. Time really flies when you are talking about Liverpool, right? Especially for a Liverpool fan who gets to ask all the questions. I wish that this could go on forever, but we know that you need rest after coming back from Greece to the UK just last night. So we're gonna squeeze in 2 or 3 more questions, and that's it. So this question definitely will be about the goalkeeper training routine, right? because surprisingly, a lot of people who listen to this broadcast, they are actually playing in the goalkeeper role when they play the game for leisure. So they want to know exactly how has the goalkeeper training routine changed from Brendan Rodgers' time to Jurgen Klopp times.
I think first and foremost, Liverpool has a kind of style of play, what is like with a playing goalkeeper. You know, Reina was a playing goalkeeper. Simon, although he got a lot of negative side, was not as bad as people wrote about him. But yeah, Ali is really confident and calm on the ball, and Lloris was also pretty calm on the ball playing out. So it's about making the right decision always with the ball on the feet. We like to make build-up play. I'm original from Holland, and in Holland we like to play football. So I always been coaching advanced goalkeepers, if you like, playing on your front foot. So if the ball goes in behind the defense, can you win the ball? If the cross comes in the box, can you win the ball? If it's a 1v1, can you win the ball? And I basically try to teach this kind of style of goalkeeper. If you play for a team like Burnley, you just stand in the goal and then you come. If the cross goes in, you try to come, or if the shots comes at the goal, but you don't deal with balls into open space, which makes it for a goalkeeper a lot easier to play in goal. And they want you just to kick the ball long. So I'm in a Dutch way. You want to be able to play left foot, right foot, and win the ball when you can win the ball, and that means you have to do a lot of different exercises, different way of coaching to try to help the goalies. But I think if you develop in the Liverpool vision and in my vision, you can play for every team. The other way it will be different. You know, Barcelona has a kind of playing style like that, Ajax in Holland, Liverpool in the UK, and you know, so yeah, some teams want to kick the ball long and play from there. Then that makes it a lot easier for a goalkeeper. We like to have build-up play, so it's a combination from the players always have to make the right angle, to have 2-3 options to make it easier for the goalkeeper to play. So if the ball goes back, the players have to sprint to get in the right angles to make a solution for the goalkeeper too. So it's a combination play. And that's what you try to teach, really.
This is amazing. I think this is really 100% brilliant insights, especially for maybe clubs in Asia, right? Football club in China, for example, if they want to, really play winning football, for example, and we all know that the football trends, they come here really fast and then they go really fast as well. But right now, definitely everyone wants to emulate Klopp's style of football, right? It was not too long ago, Barcelona being winning everything, right? They were like the high standard that everybody wants to, epitomize or wants to copy, right? But I think if clubs in Asia want to emulate club style of football and want to actually start from the back, playing, making the goalkeepers adapt to this style of football, I think it'll be actually beneficial to them if they contact you and get tips from you and hear more on how this is done. And obviously, there's a long process behind preparing the goalkeepers to play a certain way to adapt to the team, right? So before we let you go, we definitely want to talk also about, the downside of anyone's career. Like in my career, I've been criticized before. In Klopp's career, that it wasn't too long ago when some even Liverpool fans were asking, or maybe even hashtag Klopp out, when we lost the UEFA Cup final or the Champions League final against Real Madrid. So there's definitely downside. Criticism is part and parcel of a footballer's life, of a coach's life as well. So when fans publicly criticize you, I think in 2018, right, did it cast some personal doubts on your abilities? We did not hear, straight from the horse's mouth. We didn't get to hear directly from you during those times about criticism. But, the coach really came out publicly to defend you, right? So do you have any advice for those who are going through, ups and downs in their career, or they are getting criticism, especially the internet as well, right? People sometimes, stay off social media because they don't want to hear criticism. What's your hot take on that? And maybe your answer will help those who are about to give up, especially those who are struggling in whatever they do or in their footballing career.
Yeah, I think first of all, if you work for Liverpool, there is maybe 500 million supporters from Liverpool. No, we probably the biggest club in the world, if not one of the biggest club in the world. So everyone wants to have an opinion. Everyone looking for reasons. Then you have to deal with it as a part of it, which is no problem. The only thing, and I do also a little bit on the social media, but I always try to stay calm. That's part of your job too. No, you cannot react to it. I do think if people do that threats to family, that is not correct. But people will do it. I had it. It's no problem. For me, I try to switch off and I just keep working. But you have to believe in what you do. You have to believe in your philosophy and your way of work. In the end of the day, um, we now have one of the best goalies in the world. But he was already good when he came. You try to help, but he still was already good. That's how it goes. You work hard for it. You try to scout to find the right one. I was looking at Ali in 2013 for the first time. Dhoni, ex goalkeeper I work with, said, "Have a look at him." You keep monitoring, but that I also believe that hard work pays off. But you also have to make sure you stay strong in your head and believe in what you do and stick with it. Well, but also listen to criticism, make you think about it, but still have your right philosophy. And like I explained, what my philosophy is similar to what Liverpool wants and stands for in the way we want to play. Front foot, goalkeeper, playing football, and that is what Klopp likes and wants. So when we're looking at goalkeepers, we discuss the goalkeepers who do this kind of football. That's why you're looking for also outside Liverpool. We try to create that. Kelly is one of them. Grabara tries to do it too. So and be looking for the next one to come through again. Danny Ward was really good in that way too. So we do create the goalies like that, and in the end, you can only have one number one, and you have to have one yourself or try to find the best one who can do this. And I think that's how it works in football. And in the end, the club, the management, they have to also.
So we lost you momentarily again, and we're actually nearing the end of the broadcast. So I'm not sure whether we can still get you back on. Let's try, John. Let's try to see whether you can come back on again. I think this is the quite a common issue, especially when you're trying to video call in from the UK. Let's see whether we can get you back again. So if we can't get you back, I think we will just end, on this note. I think maybe something to add to round off, summarize this show. I think it's really inspiring to hear from John, especially how he deals with criticism as well. And we could tell, immediately from his answers why, he's going to leave the club as a legend. And of course, as one of important people that coached the champions, right? He will forever live along in our memories, especially for Liverpool fans out there. So, John, I think you're back. Let's try. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just riffing
So I
about
don't know
how
where we finished.
inspiring your answers were, and you're gonna leave the club as a legend, no matter what happens next, right? And your name will actually brings a smile in every Liverpool fan's face, not just in Singapore, in China, in Asia, or everywhere around the world. So, any last message for Liverpool fans who are tuning in to this broadcast?
I only think hopefully we can go one time back to the Far East on tour, because I always enjoyed it, because the big support in the Far East, in Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, everywhere, in Indonesia, it's really mad, the support. And I hope we can win more trophies, and I hope everyone enjoys it. And and maybe I be out there one time to do some coaching. You never know in life, but we definitely want to win more and be successful. So hopefully the boss can keep getting the team firing, and we try to support him the best we can, and hopefully we can produce what we did already again, because that's the drive from everyone as a sportsman. You want to win, and you want to be the best, and you want to succeed. So like every red in the whole world. So that's what we hope for and work for.
This is amazing, and this is a fantastic way to sign off. We look forward to come back to this part of the world and hang out with you, in Asia and Singapore, and I hope to host you when you're finally back here after maybe winning another 3 or 4.
Did you hear me?
So look forward to that day. It'll be an awesome day indeed. So please stay safe, and I look forward, to catching you and your coaching staff more often on LFC TV Go. It's a great program. We've been watching it 24/7 ever since you leave the title. So we look forward to hear from you and to welcome you back to our shores again. Thank you so much,
No
John.
problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is John.
All right.
Achterberg.
Yeah, see you later. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Cheers.
See you later.